right, here we go. What's up, my chaotic peepers? Today we're gonna be discovering a little Honkai Star Rail video by Skiorg. The worst side of Honkai Star Rail. Now, now call me biased, but I'm unaware of like what this side of Honkai Star Rail that's so bad. Like, I'm very curious, like what this video is going to be about. Is he probably going to talk about the flaws or negative of Hawkeye Star Rail? To which, if that's the case, there's not that many to begin with. In terms of, I guess, in terms of strictly just the game, maybe a bit of the storytelling, but I feel like they got like in terms of, like the pacing for like traumatic events of what happened in past um Trailblaze missions. But I feel like they've gotten better with that over time, especially with Panconi. Um, I do wonder what exactly is like a negative about Hawkeye Star Rail. I mean, maybe I'm just missing something. Maybe I just love the game so much. But I mean, in my defense, the game is like the gold standard for like all gotcha games in history, and this game is freaking amazing. So it's like, what do you want me to do? I mean, I will speak what I think is a negative about it. I mean, I did think at the time that the story, especially with like the pacing of like a big event happening, weren't given the opportunity to like digest and like fully understand like what happened. It was just kind of like, oh, something crazy happened. It's like on to the next scene, like immediately, whether it be like a big like attack from like a character or like the death of a character that happened and like previous like arcs or different planets. That's usually that was like one of the main I think complaints early game that I had about it, like actual critique about it. And then there's like the farming for planar ornaments and spears, or like yeah, the spears and ropes for Cinematic Universe. They're gonna bring in 2.3 Divergent Universe, which will make farming for that stuff much more easier. And so I'm glad they're implementing that. But yeah, I'm very intrigued to see what Georg is talking about. Do me a favor, subscribe to his channel, like his video, uh, and as always, let's dive right into it. Let's see what we got.
Yo, I made a video before about how Honkai Star Rail became the standard of gacha games. And some retards were saying, why don't you criticize Honkai like you criticize Genshin?
Because Honkai Star Rail is a really good game, and when you have really good games exist, when really good games exist, they don't usually have that many negatives about it. Sure, there's a couple things here or there you could nitpick and say about the game, but overall, the game is amazing. So again, the people who complain were probably Genshin stands. I mean, let's give it a stat. You're probably Genshin stands. Like, why don't you criticize Honkai Star Rail? It's just like, well, maybe because compared to like whatever game you play, it's not a freaking hog posh of a freaking mess. All right.
Why is this video not talking about the negatives? Yes, they want negatives in a video talking about the standard of making games. How genius! But this
Yeah.
is also free content, so let's talk about what's bad and what can we improve in Honkai Star Rail. Quick question, what's 4 plus 4? Wrong! This video is sponsored by lootbar.gg. If you wanna top up in Honkai Star Rail Genshin with cheaper prices only using your UID, Lootbar is the best place. Because Lootbar is highly secure, fast, and has so many discounts. For example, if you wanna buy 6k Genesis Crystal, you have to buy them for $100 in Genshin, but here you buy them for 85.
I, is this is this real? I don't know. I may have to look into it myself. But really, you could get save like this much. I mean, you can save like $29, save like $15. That's interesting. Uh, I'll probably look into it. This was interesting.
$5. Okay, currently there's more discounts and I'm going to buy some jades in Honkai Star Rail just to prove it to you. The price is $50, but here I'm gonna buy it for $39 and after paying we're done. Okay, and I got him. So it was very fast, I got them in 2 minutes and now I'm gonna get the jades. We also got the double top up. Make sure to click on the link in the description if you wanna get more discounts. Anyway, back to the video. So
Okay.
it took me some time to think about the problems in this game. And you know, I always talk about seeing the other perspective, so I had some fun time trying to see what's annoying in this game. Some things
Okay.
are kinda simple and some things actually need to change. Some
What
other
you find
things
out?
are not gonna change, of course. The one problem I found is that you cannot cancel your ultimate in so many circumstances. I wish that I could cancel my ultimate, and of course this might make the skill ceiling for the game a little bit less.
Yeah, being able to cancel your ultimate, I don't have that much of an issue with it. And like he said, like sometimes it is a bit of a skill issue, but other times it's like some people just like fat finger it and it's just like, dang it, whoop, whoop, you gotta commit. I popped the ult. That sucks. I mean, yeah, being able to cancel ults, that's not much in demand. But I can understand why some people might like want that. I mean, for me personally, you know, fortunately for me, I don't have like fat fingers or fat thumbs, so I'm okay. But I can understand and see like why some people are just like, oh, okay, being able to cancel all would be really nice.
But I do not see this as a skill issue because some mobs have some RNG, sometimes you do more damage than you expect. So I think this is the most important flaw in the gameplay. Now if
Okay,
I go to the story, I think most of the story was good, but we all know that so many people liked Penacony, but I think it could be better by making them talk a little bit less, you know? Even if this storytelling was better than most of what Genshin.
is it just me or was Pericles really like yapping? Like, again, I haven't finished the Pericles, uh, like the latest update for Pericles. Like I haven't finished that story yet. I still have to finish it. I still have to get on the main story and finish that. But I don't think Penacony is. I don't think there was like a lot of yapping going on. Not too much, at least. Maybe a couple of scenes in the previous patch where you do talk, where your Acheron's in the flashback with the old guy. Maybe yeah, that's maybe the dialogue between those two was going on a bit too long. But other than that, I think the dialogue has been maybe it's just me, but I don't think the dialogue has been that much stretched out and like there has been like a lot of yapping going on in Pinnacle arc so far. At least the type of yapping where it's like okay, get on with it.
Was doing, it's still a yap fest. And you cannot convince me that they cannot make it a little bit better, or at least if there is so much yapping, then you can make so much more cinematics. Because watching a character just talking without any expressions, without any movement, just standing there for like 3 minutes and reading might be boring for some people, and I think everyone agrees that adding more cinematics will be better or making them talk less. Another
Yeah, I think that's
flaw
fair.
that cannot be fixed,
Yeah, that's
kind
fair.
of, is that the Lofu story had so much problems, especially in the storytelling. And
I think the Hawkeye server community and like content creators is almost universal, but I think everyone agrees that like out of the arcs for like Hawkeye Star Rail in terms of like the story, out of all the arcs, the Shianzo Law one is still good, but it's like last. Like okay, you got Bellbog, you have Bellbog, or no, her space station, Bellbog, Shianzo Lafu, and Panconi, and I think almost everyone agrees that like the Chance of Lafu would be like in terms of story just like rank fourth, you know. I think for me, okay, so it's obviously Pancake one, and then two is Bellbog, three her space station, and then four is the Chance of Lafu. Right? I think even with like all like the updates that like happened to it, it's still like Chance of Lawful, I would say, still lasts. So the Chance of Lawful have a lot of things like weird about it, but I think it's just because the other three moons were so good compared to the Lawful.
And most people affected by this are day one players. We were waiting every single update to just get 1 hour of story or 2 hours, unlike what we had in Penacony. Besides that, it was also a little confusing, and they were kinda throwing so many characters. And of course it has some positives, but as I said, I'm not gonna talk about positives in this video.
Yeah, like the Don Hong and Barbara Lune transformation when Blade like stabbed him. I feel like that scene was a bit rushed, and maybe they could have um edge like kind of like edge it out and like push it a little bit further down the line. But yeah, it's just like I feel like it could have been pushed out a little longer just for a better timing for him to reveal for Don Juan to like reveal his like Barbara Lune form.
If you want to see positives, go watch the standard video. Now, since this is a gacha game, I think being a gacha game is a flaw. If you disagree with that, let me tell you this.
That's
What
that's
if
fair.
they just reduce the pity at 50 now? Without changing anything, we don't see more power creep, the game stays as generous as it is, I think everyone will be happy. And if you can
If they reduce it to, well, I mean, yeah, the idea of like gacha. I mean, the whole point of gacha is to like gamble and to like pull for like characters that you want and pull for the weapons you want for said characters. I mean, that's understandable. I think like gacha as a whole is like a flaw, but the what you get in return is like that dopamine rush of just like getting that new character and seeing that 5 star like variant in like some form of animation pop up, and it's like you see the character you wanted, and then it's just like it's like a rush, man. It's like a rush. It's like a full blown sugar rush. Like you just like all happy and you just getting up right around the room. It's crazy. But yeah, it's like yeah, if the pay was reduced to like 50 instead of like what is it 80, right? Yeah, like 80. I mean that'd be like 33 whole 10 posts less. I think honestly it's like yeah, okay, so they would still be able to get money off of it, but I don't think it wouldn't be as effective, or not as effective, but it's like you won't get as much, I think, income out of it because I think, well, it's a smart strategy doing like 80 pulls and then like the full max is like 160 to like at least to guarantee the feature 5 star, and the A pull mark is like the 50-50 mark, and the way they have like the race set up is like it is predatory, but at the same time, it's like you can't deny the results, right? Like it's a little bit of smart business. So yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was. If it was reduced to 50, then maybe we wouldn't be seeing as many like as much spending on like the race to like get more polls as we are currently seeing right now with these gotcha games. So it's a fair
get
point.
every single character for free without the need to spend will be even better. So this is one of the flaws that will never change. The game can be very generous, but the gacha system is always a flaw in any game, in my opinion. The only
Mm-hmm.
good thing about gacha is the adrenaline that you get when you win a 50-50 or get your character, but if you look at it in another way, it's called addiction. Now there are some
True.
actual very important flaws that I discovered, but before that let me talk about something very simple. Why do we not have a jump button yet? I mean, it just feels so weird. And
Because I guess you're used to playing. For people who did that way, maybe you're just really used to like playing gotcha games to where you're able to jump, and so maybe jumping, I guess, is like a standard for in terms of movement for you, and like well, not just a gotcha, but I guess in most games. So that's understandable. But it's like it's like what would be the point of jumping in Honkai Star Rail? I don't really see it. It's like, okay, if we're able to jump, it doesn't really help with anything really. Like let's say you're able to jump like you know the hotel VIP lounge, like lobby and Panconi when you first enter it, and they have the staircase, right? And then you have like the guard rail leaning up like on the staircase. If you're able to jump over it, what would that accomplish? Like if you're able to jump over like stuff that, I mean, what would it accomplish? I mean, not really, not really anything. Say there was like a trash can blocking the way, like in like an alleyway of like a map, and you jump over the trash can. It's like there's nothing else further down, like further down the alleyway. It's just out of bounds. Or maybe they could, if they did like add a jump feature, maybe they could add something like that, like a chest being behind the trash can, or you jump over the trash can and you further go down like the alleyway, and then you enter a secret area to where you there's a secret chest. Maybe something like that. But as far like that's the like that that's the most I could come up with like off the top of my head. But it's like there's not much. You don't get like a lot of benefit with the jump function. I guess it's like something you're probably used to, but it's like that. It's not. That's not really a flaw or like a or a problem. I don't think like not being able to jump is like a flaw in like Honkai Star Rail. It's just fine.
And I shit you not, some people actually quit the game because they couldn't jump. I remember people talking about how they
Well, yeah, those people are superficial, so eh. And plus, they already were gonna probably quit Hawkeye Star Rail off the rip, anyways. They were just probably looking for like an excuse, and hey, I can't jump, man. This is bullcrap. I'm leaving. It's just like, it's such a little little superficial thing to like quit the game over and to like whine about. Like it's probably not the main reason why they quit. There are probably other reasons. They just probably didn't want to say it, or they probably don't have any reasons. They're just like, I can't jump and then leave. Like, okay, cool.
quit the game before because it doesn't have jumping when it started, or they had a bad impression at the start because you can jump. Now another problem is the events. Some events are good, but some other events like the last editing events that we got in this update, it was insanely bad. I still didn't finish it. I do not want to do it. It's so bad. It's so boring. I agree that most of the events are kind of good, but holy, they have some events.
I haven't started on that event because I guess I haven't finished the story. But yeah, I haven't been able to like start that event. But for most events, I think like this event in particular, if he's saying it's bad, then it's like it's one of the very few bad ones, I guess, in terms of events. Because Hawkeye Star Roll, you have the Bellbog Museum event, you have the Idurian Moors event, uh you have the Arm Alley one where you're with Sushang and then you try to bring back Arm Alley. You have like the Ghost Squad one as well. That one's really good. In terms of like major events, like the premiere events, like after like an update comes out, you usually have like that big premiere event, like like main event that you go to after getting through a specific part in the story, or you clear enough story content in the playthrough to where you unlock the event. Usually, it's only until after you're done with the entire story and the patch. So there's that. But yeah, usually you tell an event is going to be really good when, depending on the rewards, right? It's like sometimes they might have the self modeling tool to where you could pick a specific stat that you want for a relic piece. You got start a lot of starter J's, you got the books and all that type of stuff. It usually depends on like the rewards that comes out the event that tells you whether or not the event is good or not, right? And so in terms of like bad events, um maybe I just don't think there's not that many. I think it's like there are like a lot of good events on Honkai Star Rail, but it's like in comparison to like the other ones, it's like, yeah, some of them are pretty like either mediocre or like awful. Again, I don't know about this particular event that he's talking about, But I mean, we'll see. I'll definitely try make a video on that, or I'll be like live streaming it and doing the like event like live for you guys.
That are just bad. Now let's go back to the gameplay and metas and things like that.
Uh huh.
First, I think that the end game is sometimes about getting the character more than having a new strategy. You can look at it in a way that it makes some characters more viable, but it also makes you want to spend more and need more characters. When you do not have a Himeko or a Built Herita or an Argenti for like the
Uh, the end game content makes it feel like that you don't have the character that you need. I think that's fair because I will say in pure fiction, I didn't know how much of a utility that Humiko and her could be until I leveled them up and I took them into pure fiction and they just annihilated the friggin' enemies there. So it makes sense. I can understand why, where it's like you feel like you need the character, but I just think that, uh yeah, sometimes the game can be like if you don't have this character, like you're screwed. But I honestly don't I just don't feel that way. I think that even without like the follow up characters, you can still find a way, to be able to clear the end game content, right? I just still feel like you're still able to clear the end game content. I think they give you like enough. They give you like the proper characters and like the proper opportunity to like pull for a character, and those characters will help you out in the and like the end game content like Golden Gears, Swarm Disaster, Memory Chaos, all that type of stuff, right? So I do understand where it's coming from. Where it's like, yeah, sometimes if you don't have like a Clara, like yeah, some people don't have a Clara still to this day, or maybe some people still don't have Himiko, and it's just like I don't have this character, so I really can't like 3-star pure fiction, like you know, like I can't like wait, hold on, how many stars is it? There's 4 stages, 12. Yeah, I can't like 12-star pure fiction, so it's understandable. I think it might be I don't know. I feel like it's subjective, but at the same time, it wouldn't surprise me if like a lot of people were like have that same feeling, and then it just becomes like a actual issue with like the gameplay itself. But also another reason is just like skill issue. Get better. Like I get better at pure fiction. I know I gotta get better at pure fiction, but
your fiction, you will feel that. Which makes me wanna talk about power creep. Yes, I said in the last video that they're kinda handling power creep in a good way, but it's still power creep. Some characters like Zila are power crept, and I still don't see how they can make her work.
no, Seorg, what are you talking about? Scylla is still just as good as Acheron. She's amazing even. All you really need is her signature light is Scylla's signature light cone, 200 plus crit damage, 125 plus speed. You need a Sparkle and a Bronya. You need Sparkle and Bronya. Sparkle has to be E2. Your Bronya has to be E1. And both of them need to have S5 Dance Dance Dance. And you could put in uh any sustainer or healer you want to. You know what? Put in, screw it. Put in Venturine. Yeah, put in Venturine, and you're good to go. I mean, that sounds. I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, what are you talking about, my guy? I mean, yeah, Sela is still pretty good. You just need Sela to have her signature light cone. Probably get her at E1 or E2 as well for her, and then an E2 um, Sparkle with S5 Dance Dance Dance, and a Bronya who is E1 with also a S5 Dance Dance Dance. And of course Sparkle's speed is also 195 and Sila's speed is like 125 plus speed. So basic stuff. It's not that hard. By the way, I'm speaking sarcastically as a joke in case you can tell by my tone.
Orc again. Maybe they're hiding something for her, but for now, characters are getting power crept, and even though they're fixing it, it's not enough. Which makes me wanna talk about paths. I think that some paths are kinda losing their identity. Sometimes you feel that it's good, but in the same time, you cannot expect anything from the paths. Now, what is the nihility? Is it about debuffs? Is it about main DPS? Is it about dots? If you look at it in
I still okay. So he's being the he's like, is it main DPS? Is it dots? Is like what is it? Nihility overall, majority of Nihility characters, it is still about applying debuffs and doing damage over time to enemies. Majority, right? Majority of Nihility characters, that is what they are about. They're about applying debuffs and doing dot damages. I think he's alluding to the fact of like Acheron existing as a Nihility character, and it's like she doesn't exactly fit the Nihility like kit. Like she actually is a Nihility character that relies on crit rate, crit damage, but that's like a once in like a blue moon type character, that they're deciding to like implement into the game. I think Acheron is special, and her gameplay speaks for itself. That's why she's a special Nihility character. She's not your typical traditional Nihility character, but that doesn't take away the fact that like she's really good. I think Steor probably has to understand that like there's gonna be a special like who knows, there's gonna be like you got Venturine. He's a preservation character, and his shields are really good, but he also does follow up attack. Dr. Ratio, Hunt character, does follow up attack. Uh, Sela does follow up attack, but she's also a Hunt character. For Hunt characters, it's like single target main DPS. And from what I'm hearing about Boot Hill, his is more about break effect. Like him is like for him, it's just like stacking like on break effect. For Boot Hill, is what I've been hearing lately. So it's like some of these characters, it's like yeah, like they like the three that I just mentioned, CeeLo, Dr. Ratio, Boo Hill, they're supposed to be about single target, big damage, big number damage to like a single target unit, and yet you got Ratio and CeeLo doing follow up attacks and all this other stuff. So it's like I understand where he's coming from, but it's for me it's just like it's like you gotta understand that they could have like one character have like a path where it's just like they do something special in comparison to like the other characters who are following the same path as them. Like Sparkle, I mean, it's probably not like a good example because I was about to say Sparkle literally gives you 7 skill points, like or like two, yeah, 7 skill points, which is 2 extra skill points. And so it's like she's a Harmony character, and usually Harmony characters are about like moving your team up the turn or like line, and of course applying buffs to them as well. That's usually Harmony characters, but Sparkle does way more than that. Freaking Robin does from the program does way more than that. Like sometimes, listen, sometimes some of these characters that are upcoming are just gonna do like a little bit more than what your typical character would do if they were on the path of the hunt or the path of destruction or the path of nihility. And all these are like and path of harmony. All these are stuffs. I think they're all just like special in their own way.
some other ways, it might not be a very bad thing.
Now I will say real quick, the hunt path is definitely like losing a lot of relevance. Now, hopefully, Boo Hill, and I predict this will happen. And if I get it wrong, well, at least you have this video to clip me on it and call me out on it. But Boo Hill will bring back the relevance of hunt characters. Boo Hill will make like wanting to play as like a hunt character like fun again. I believe that 100%. You could clip it, you could book it. I'm calling my shot.
But at the start of the game, it was a little more simple, so people can understand, and if they see a new character, they know. Maybe the only consistent one was the harmony, and the most versatile one is probably the destruction. But as I said, they still didn't lose the identity, but they're going through this path, so we will see in the future. Now, there's something that I want them to add in the game, especially with the golden gears and swarm disaster. I hope
Yeah.
that they add more meaning to this mode. For example, if we can farm something very rare there, it will give people that wanna play the game for more.
Oh well, they're doing that. Oh yeah, they're gonna do that. They announced it in the program. 2.3 is like, yeah, they're announcing a new game mode called Divergent Universe where we get to farm that stuff more easily, and we actually get like rewards for it as well. So it's like, yeah, no, that's gonna be fixed up real quick and easy. No need to worry about that, my guy.
Hours, more content to do. It can just be a hat for the character, it can be anything rare, something symbolic, and I think the simulated universe or golden gears, everything like that would be the best place to do that. It's
Okay.
not an MMO, it's not made for this, but I don't think an addition like this will be bad. If people are not interested, they won't do it. Just something, as I said, symbolic will be cool. I don't know,
Okay.
maybe unlocking a secret boss that gives you an emote to dance that you can use in every character. It will be something funny, cool in the game. Because since I talked earlier about end game, I think that the end game is very separated. You always play the game for the same amount of time, even if they add more end game, the rotation won't change. So adding something like that might add more replay value.
Yeah, I do think, yeah, adding like more in game, like similar to like what he's saying, would add more of the replay value for people. But I think there's already like a lot of replay value with the end game, anyways. But like I said, they're adding a new one, Divergent Universe. It's gonna like make, and apparently we get to fight like, we basically get to do the simulated universe run, and then we get to the end. And I think you have to save it, or maybe not. I'm not sure. But I think you do the run. You complete it once, right? And after you complete it once, you can select a spot to where you want to just drop in there immediately. Like you can literally like skip all the rest of the stuff and go ahead to like the last boss or like the last stage of the simulated universe run that you just did. Skip ahead to the final boss, and you just farm. It's just like repeat over and over and over again, and then it makes farming for the spears and the ropes much easier. So yeah, they're gonna add that pretty soon.
To the game. Another problem would be we still don't have relic loadouts, or at least good relic loadouts. I won't talk a lot about this, but it's obvious that it's a good thing, and it saves so much time. And talking about saving time, the simulated universe
Uh, real quick on the relic lows out thing. I don't have much of a Well, again, like maybe if you like down in the comment section, let me know. Maybe you could tell me and go into more details of like what the problem with that is. But I don't have a much issue with like the royal loadout how it currently is like right now, like it's set up. I don't have too much of an issue with it. So I'm just trying to figure out like what exactly is the. I guess he's also asking for like a better relic loadout like sets. Uh, not exactly too sure what he means by that, but again, let me know in the comments. Uh, Hopefully it'll clear things up, and maybe then I'll understand.
farming is annoying. But I have to say that the devs said that they're gonna fix it in the next patch, but
Yep.
I had to throw it there. So for the people that are
Yeah.
saying, no, it wasn't a problem, then why are the devs changing it? But we
Well,
will see
yeah,
how
true. A lot of
good
people
it will
think it's a
be.
problem.
So I just wanted to put it there as the last thing. And this is actually everything that I found, the problems that I found in the game for
Yeah.
what it is. And to be honest, I think it's one of the best gacha games, and I still think that it's the standard of gacha games. Anyway, that was the video. Bye bye.
Yeah, great video by Steer. That was really good. Yeah, I just honestly think that like yeah, Honkai Star Rail does have a couple issues with it, but a couple of them have been fixed over time. And here's the thing: if there are issues in the game, it's going to get fixed because the Honkai Star Rail developers listen to their players and they will address the issues that players have. So I guess that was like all like the flaws of the game, but some of the so a couple of the flaws weren't like they were like kind of like subjective. It would be nice to have this, but at the same time, we don't need it. It's not like a thing where it's like if we don't have this, the game will be bad, or it will go down a line, or yeah, it will go down the line as being a bad game. Like no, uh, it doesn't have any flaws like that at the current moment. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what the Divergent Universe thing is all about. But I believe they have a 100% hit like hit ratio on, oh, you guys are upset about this particular thing. Okay, we will fix it. And they've not missed. They haven't missed once yet. So we'll see what Divergent Universe looks like. But anyways, that was a good video. Make sure to like, subscribe to Stewart. He's a really good guy. Makes really good content. Always a pleasure watching his videos and reacting to them. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today. Can't wait for I gotta finish up the story. Definitely gonna we're definitely gonna stream that later. I believe I will send out. Hopefully, I have it set up right. It will be a notification sent out letting people know that I'm going live. So if you want to come later today to check out the stream, come on in. Let's talk, get to know each other, and let's finish up the Hawkeye Star Wars story because man, it is really good, and I love Panconi. I just love it. But anyways, that's gonna be it for today. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel, to Steor's channel, and I will see you all in the next one.